Right, what's this? Go on. What, go on, just get on with it, because I just can't believe what you just said.
What are we doing? Are we, the final one?
Yeah.
Right, the last one, like I said...
No. Say the record. Say the record you played, go on.
This is, free association.
Yeah, brilliant,
of
right.
Shadowwood Mark.
Yeah, and what did you just say to me just before this was ending? He just looked over at me and went, are there any animals without a brain?
No, but hang on a minute.
No, right. And I went, yeah, there's animals that are... He went, I was going to talk about this, but it's sad. There's a lad born without a brain, and he laughs a lot, and his hearing and his sight's okay. I'll go, well, that's impossible. If he's without a brain, all that is impossible. And he went, well, it was in the magazine.
No, it was in a book that somebody sent.
Right.
And I didn't want to bring it up, because it is a bit sad, really. Now this, young lad, there's a picture of him sat there with his mum, and,
Carl!
Well,
Carl!
I forget it.
It's impossible.
Well,
there must have been more to the story,
He
Carl.
can't not have a brain. Hearing and sight is a concept within the brain. That's all it is, right?
Yeah.
The ears are just receptacles. They're just, So...
But that's why it was in this book. It was a book of mysteries.
Carl, if you're reading a book and you see a photo and you guess at what you think the story might be, that doesn't make it true. That doesn't make it fair.
I looked at it because I thought he looks like an happy lad.
Sure.
And I read about it and I thought, that's weird. Like you've said, the fact that he hasn't got a brain but he can see and he can hear.
No! Impossible!
Well,
impossible.
Okay.
Go on. I don't know who to believe. Listen, we haven't done it for a while. White Van Man. I thought there's some interesting questions raised today, and I think it might be nice to just put them Carl.
I think we set Carl up again in the last hour as a person that people want to know
they want
his
to know
opinions on the world,
If you're not familiar with it, on Saturdays, the Sun newspaper asks a typical white van driver questions his opinions on the week's news, and we thought we'd throw these in the direction of Carl.
Good.
And then what do you make of this teenage thug, Carl, Mickey Carroll, who spent 4 months in jail and he's won 9.7 million on the lottery? Is that justice? When you think of all the good people that are going hungry? And there's a lad there and he's won...
Did he buy the ticket before he went in?
No, I think he bought it once he'd come out.
So he's done his time.
He's done his time.
Fair enough then, he's been punished.
Yeah.
Right, he's bought a ticket, he's had a lot of bad luck. Now he's having a bit of good luck.
Right, next one.
Are you concerned that now he's got all that money he could turn into like a sort of mastermind villain, like a James Bond style villain? He's got a criminal streak, we know that. Is that a concern for you?
Well, we
imagine
don't.
that he could build some kind of underwater fortress.
We don't, with my lawyer's hat on, we don't know that.
Yeah, well. Well, he'd have to prove that he didn't have a criminal streak. I'd say you've been in jail for 4 months.
Yeah, sometimes people are bad because they haven't got any money, so he might be an angel of gold now.
Yeah.
1 in 5 children aged between 11 and 16 go on booze binge sessions at least once a week. That's terrifying news, isn't it?
Kids, they know too much now.
Yeah.
Compared to you,
despair.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Listen to this one, right?
Go on.
My dad had me niece in the car, right, running her to school one day, and she was in the back of the car with a mate, and they were chatting away about stuff like kids do. And he got onto the topic of one of the mates, who he said, I mean, you've got to remember, my niece, this point, was probably about 5 or 6, something like that, right? In the back of the car, talking about My Little Pony, whatever it is they play with. Subject changed. Oh, that Lisa in our class, she's a lesbian, isn't she?
Right.
That's what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Chatting away about it.
Just openly talking about lesbianism.
And probably, this is the topic that they're talking about in the pub when they're having out drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they might have thought a lesbian was a funny word or something. You don't necessarily know the ins and outs of it, do they?
It's weird though, isn't it? Because when I was younger at school, you didn't you swore a little bit, but it wasn't like major swear words, and you sort of did a little bit of nicking, but nothing like they get up to now. I mean,
my girlfriend, when she was about 7 or 8, just walked to school with her mum, and she called her a C-U-N. Right?
You are joking.
No, she said, because she thought it was she said she thought it was a big furry animal. So she was being nice, and where'd you hear that? Where'd you hear that? Like, just heard it at school. So they might, they might not know what it means.
Well, I tell you, I'm gonna have to use kind of euphemisms here to tell this story, but when I was at school, I learned, the stronger version, it's not the same word, but it's very similar with one letter changed. I'm gonna use twit.
Yeah.
You know the word I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But I'm going to use the word twit to replace it, right? And I went round.
You think the twat?
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I'm thinking of. And, so can I say it? Am I allowed to say it?
No, of course not.
It's weird though, because
No, hang on,
some people from Cornwall use that like saying twit. So, if people listen in Cornwall...
Do you know what, a twit is a pregnant goldfish?
Well...
Well, I learned the stronger version of twit.
Yeah.
Twat. For those that aren't sure. I learned this in school when I was like 10 or whatever, and I didn't know what it meant. I thought it was just a stronger version of twit.
Yeah.
I thought it was just if you were really annoyed with someone because they were a real twit.
Because I is worse than I.
Exactly, apparently. So, you know, Carl would be a twit. And, and so I started using this at home, because I didn't realise what it meant. I started using this at home, oh, you twit, you're a twit, and saying it to my dad, you're a twit, you know, I'm not saying twit.
Yeah.
And my dad didn't know what it meant either.
That's great!
I couldn't believe. So he started using it as well, right? So then we'd be driving in the car, he'd be saying to my mum, you stupid, say to my mum, you don't, pull over, you're gonna bum it, you twat. And saying this, then I learned at school from Mark Johnson what it really meant.
Yeah.
Stopped using it, obviously finding out it was quite an offensive word.
Yeah.
I didn't want to bring it up to my dad. I didn't want to sit my dad down and say, Dad, you know that word we've been saying?
Yeah.
You know what it means? So now, to this day, I never brought it out with him. So we'll be driving, you know, I go in for Christmas, we'll be driving around, he'll be calling my mum that word. Left, right and centre. I think she knows. I think she's just embarrassed. Or she's just upset and she knows what it means. She goes, why does he keep calling me this terrible word? But he's the only one, I think, in our family who doesn't know what it means. No one's got the guts to say. I don't know whether I should tell him this Christmas.
What a twat.
I know.
Good to hear that again.
Always good to hear that.
Suede. Animal nitrate. Carl was all flustered because there isn't a record set up, but he's getting all tizzy. He's been more worried about his competitions than sorting out putting records on ready. What?
I'm after sort of Steve's song for a love.
Well, I'll tell you what, why didn't you carry on with your educating Ricky section? I'll have a look on the CD.
We'll keep it going, Steve.
Yeah, you keep
go on. Go on then, right, okay. We've had a few emails. Anyone got it right, Carl? Anyone got it?
Educating Ricky, that's the final one. We've got to get that out of the way.
We've got to get Rockbusters as well, though.
We can do that at the end, we can wait.
Go on then.
But we've only got 5 minutes left.
Come on, just do Educating Ricky.
Right. God. The last one that we haven't done is, he's a bit of a nuisance.
Go on then.
Again, not really that interesting.
Thanks.
No, like, again, I spoke to you in the week, and I had much better things, like when I tell you about Brian Blessed climbing Everest, and for some reason it made him, it played havoc with his belly, and he followed through and he had to clean up.
Shut himself?
Yeah, using ice and snow.
Why are you telling me that Brian Blessed, in what way is telling me that Brian Blessed shit himself once in any way educational?
Because I was saying how he was climbing Everest, right?
Right.
I give it to him, he's an actor and that, but he gave that a go.
Yeah.
Right, he played...
What's the point of that, you'd say, wouldn't you?
You'd say, God, he's you know...
So he's alright. Me doing a boxing match for no reason is rubbish, but him climbing Everest and shitting himself...
Yeah, he did that.
...is commendable.
Right, and he's only gonna, like, go and do it again. He's gonna climb it again.
Yeah, but he might not shit himself this time.
Yeah, but what's the point in going? Nothing's changed up there.
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
What's it been?
Well, it has. They've probably cleared it up by now. Like, but, it's slip on it.
I can't be bothered telling you this one, because...
Come on! Just
honest,
do it, or do it now!
Steve, how we doing?
Look, no, never mind that. Look, just tell me what that means. Oh, he's a nuisance. Oh, this is so annoying, Carl. I'm gonna go mental.
Right,
talk.
Right, listen, I'm just putting this in here, right? Right, nuisance is a bit of a nuisance.
Yeah.
Apparently, the old fella who used to hang people... Yeah. He used to be able to tell somebody's weight just by looking at them. Right? That's a bit of a bonus fact.
We'll be the judge of that.
The thing that I wanted to tell you is, money for old rope, do you know what I'm saying? I can't even be bothered.
Yes, you're gonna tell me now. Come on, Carl.
Right,
I mean it.
Basically, money for old rope came from the... right.
What was all that about? He can tell someone's weight. What was that
bonus
for?
fact.
And Brian Blessed shitting himself. What are you... What? No, don't you... No, tell me that now. You nearly made me swear then. I'm getting really annoyed. I'm getting really... Annoyed now. Down with this back, Carl, or I'm gonna go mental.
Come on, Carl, time's running out.
More like people years ago, when people used to be hung, right?
Right.
If you didn't like the person who's been hung, you'd go, God, I really don't like him. And so you never forget the time.
Because if they're being hung, we take that as read.
Yeah, yeah. So they never forget. Afterwards, they get the hangman to get the rope and to cut it up into little pieces, and he'd sell them. He'd sell the little pieces of rope to people. And,
See, Carl, that's the most interesting thing, if it's true, that you've come up with.
Right, okay. And so so they sell the rope?
They sell the rope, and it's money for old rope.
Money for old rope?
Meaning, like, you know, God, it's easy to make money, that's all they have to do is cut it up and sell it.
I'm cynical. Why do you need a holiday to you potter around? Your big day last week was going to the cobblers. So why do you need a break so much this week?
It's just that, you know, it's good for your brain and that, isn't it? It opens it up a bit.
You are not evidence for that.
Where did you go?
Gran Canaria.
For a week?
Yeah.
Just sitting around?
Well, there isn't much else to do at Gran Canaria. I mean, I don't want to go slagging a place off, because every time I seem to talk about somewhere, get into trouble for it.
Right.
But it's just like a big rock. It's
Brilliant.
just volcanic, innit?
And you must have looked like a little barnacle on that.
Have you been there before?
Been near it before to another rock, which was just.
But
it was
what,
the
you
same
had your
sort of
fingers
thing.
burned, why did you go back?
Because you think, well, they can't have loads of these islands that are the same, like just a big rock with hotels on. They can't get away with it. So you think,
And they
well, the
obviously
next
are
one.
getting away with it. But why do you keep going to these places that are rocks? Why don't you investigate first? Ask your travel agent, is this a giant rock?
Because that's what you do, innit? You go and find out yourself. I mean, when Armstrong went to the moon, what was he expecting up there? That's a fact. That's a big rock, and he still went all that way.
I don't know what that point was.
No,
Fair enough.
so what I'm saying is, though,
What do you make of this place? You enjoy it, Gran Canaria? It was just a big rock, but did you
I bet the moon was better.
Really?
What did you do?
It was just one of them. It was a big hotel, like big, massive places where there's loads of people, and you know, you go for your dinner.
That describes a hotel.
Yeah.
No,
Sounds like
no.
one to me.
You've nailed that.
I've been to a few, that sounds like it.
No, but I thought, so there is stuff going on that I can chat about. Start a diary.
Sure.
You started a diary.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do? Did you keep it up every day?
Yeah, just,
Oh, can I read it, please?
well, a diary is meant to be sort of...
Please, can I read some out on this podcast? Carl.
Some of it, though, is only relevant to me. It's sort of...
Oh, this is... Please, give me it. Oh, my God.
I mean, this isn't... I haven't just...
Look how big it is!
It's one of those desk diaries.
It's huge. It's about a foot long. And it's... Oh, that is amazing. Imagine if Anne Franks had been like that. As she got out... Right. Everyone would have heard it clank down on the desk.
Yeah, but my writing's quite big, isn't it?
Oh, look! Give us that.
Do you
Give us
know?
that.
Do you know about joined up writing? Have you heard
This
about
is
that?
There's no point.
Amazing.
Sometimes you can't read it, can you? So it's
Right,
best to
okay.
look at
oh,
ancient
look!
times.
Oh my God! It starts on the first day. This is wonderful. Going on holiday to Gran Canaria today. Woke up to the news that Tony Banks had died. There was a piece on the news about how everyone was shocked. Got me thinking about an invention that was really good. Right, a watch that counted down your life. If it says you've got 3 days left, go to the doctors. Told Suzanne about invention. She said she wouldn't buy one. But she said that about the iPod.
How would this device work? This watch? I mean, how would you know when you were about to die? Is that a concern? Again, not for you to worry about. Presumably the boffins and stuff.
No,
like
all
that.
I was thinking is that Tony Banks fella, you know, he died and everyone was shocked about it. But if you had like a little watch on...
But how did it work? You can't just say, wouldn't it be good? How would this work? Yeah, I imagine you in the patent office going, got an idea. They go, oh, certainly, Mr. Pilkington, what's your idea? Watch, they're counting down your life. Oh, how does that work? What?
Just wear it, just pop it on your wrist.
No, what do you mean, just pop it on your wrist? How does it work? Just pop it on your wrist. Brilliant. You're an idiot.
Well, it's interesting that he goes on. The flight to Gran Canaria was a bit bumpy. I thought about the clock that counts down your life again, and I wondered if it would know if you were going to die in a disaster. No, he's querying his own
He's
life.
wondering if he would know. He's invented this.
And now he's not even sure.
This is a brilliant diary. This might be the best diary ever written. Oh.
While sat listening to the Kinks on my iPod, I wondered if everybody thinks in their accent. I know I do. What's this? What are you talking about?
Just that, you know, when I've been sat there lying on the lounger, right, and I was thinking about stuff.
How do you know you think in your accent? Tell me a typical thought.
Because what I mean is, say if I was like, if I saw something, right? Do you know how I say like, oh, that's a bit weird, isn't it?
No, but
that was
I don't
being
have
said.
to. But when you think, I don't think the sentence is like I'm saying it. It's just a thought. The thought appears. It's conceptual and it's already there. It's not like I go, Rick, what? Just looking at that fellow over there, were you? Yeah, I was. Yeah. I was thinking it was a bit weird. Oh, so was I. I don't think out whole sentences.
Whereas you have Carl, stop listening to the Kinks for a minute. Look over there. More cross-eyed people.
No, well, that's
Is that how
kind
your
of-
mind works?
In a way, yeah. And
Brilliant.
that's when because I thought
Explains a lot.
It's great that he has to think about whole sentences.
because I thought that's weird, isn't it? Like I didn't think that's weird, isn't it? And I thought I actually think in my accent. And then I thought, does Stephen Hawking, does he, when he's doing his maths and that, is he? I don't know where he's from, so I don't know what his accent would be like.
I think he's from Kent or Cambridge or Oxford. Or something.
Right. So
So you think he might think in his
voice, in that voice box
computerised
thing.
voice?
Just wondered.
Had lunch inside today due to shite weather. Sat next to an old fella. Old men's ears and noses carry on growing as they get older. Suzanne noticed his fingers were fat too. Maybe they continue to grow. Suzanne didn't laugh when I said her arse had the same problem. Day 3, cloudy. Did you have a nickname?
Not really. I mean, there was a lot of people on the estate that I grew up on. You know, nicknames are big things on estates and that.
Yeah.
A lot of my dad's mates, right? What their nicknames did was tell you about them. Do you know how I said about the Elephant Man's a good name?
Yeah.
Because, like, you know what you're going to get. If someone said, Elephant Man's popping around in a bit, it wouldn't be a shock when he walked in.
Yeah.
Right? So it worked in that sort of thing. You know, so there was John the Screw, right?
John the Screw?
Yeah.
Whether he had sex a lot or he worked in a prison.
No, he had a DIY shop. so you had him,
Right.
There was Fred the Veg,
Yeah.
which is
I assume it's because he was at the same IQ as you.
Or he was in a coma.
Yeah.
Right.
there was my uncle Tattoo Stan.
All right.
Yeah, he had like loads of tattoos that he'd just done himself.
Oh my
Right.
God.
The problem was, because he did his tattoos himself, the ones on his left arm were really good. Because he was right-handed. On his right hand, rubbish. Right? So there was him.
Ah, great.
And there was Jimmy the Hat.
Jimmy the Hat.
Yeah.
Did
And
he always wear a hat?
No, he didn't. That was the point there. That he never wore a hat.
That's amazing.
Brilliant.
How can you pick up on someone never wearing a hat? How would you ever notice? I'll tell you what, I've noticed something about Jimmy. What?
Go on.
He doesn't wear a hat. why was he not called Jimmy the Parrot? Because he never carries a parrot.
No, but that's just the way. I mean, that's how they work in it. I mean,
Here comes Jimmy Three Legs. Why'd you call him that? He hasn't got 3 legs.
I didn't really have one apart from like I had a CB. You know, like when you'd go on a CB radio and have a chat to people.
Oh, this was a craze in the, was it late 70s, early 80s?
Sort of early 80s.
And it was just short band radio, wasn't it? Everyone had these little handsets and they'd speak to each other in the sort of local area.
Yeah, it was mainly. I think it started off with like
Lorry
truckers
drivers,
and
isn't it? Yeah, truckers, yeah, because there was that thing from like about 1977,
Convoy.
it was Convoy, yeah.
Yeah, so I had one of them, and the handle. I had 2
Handle
different
mean
names.
is your nickname, your
Yeah,
name.
there's loads of code stuff.
Yeah.
I had a couple. I had there was Pilkio one, because
Right.
like I say, there's a lot of Pilkingtons and that in Manchester. So if someone's Pilkio 2, it's open. Do you know what I mean? They can have it. And then
That is people scrabbling. For, I want a Pilkio one.
and then because I did boxing and that,
Well, you did it once.
Yeah.
I'd Boxer Boy. Because I thought that's quite a good image as well. That's kind of like people going, oh, don't mess with him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he asks what your handle is, tell him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's Boxer Boy and that.
Yeah.
So just had them 2, and I used to just go on there and.
Pointless. What is the point of this?
Well, you just meet people, don't you?
And you
So-
don't meet people. You say, "What's your handle?" You go, "Box boy." What's yours? Rubber duck. All right, cheers.
No,
It's
but then
ridiculous.
you'll say like, then you go, oh, what's your 20?
What's that mean?
That's where are you?
Well, why don't you say, "Where are you?"
because just in case there's someone who's listening in who you know, you hear about this all the time, don't you? People listening, jotting stuff down.
Oh, right, so just in case someone in the world doesn't know what handle means, they're out of the loop. They're out of the loop.
It's not a difficult code to crack, is it? If
Yeah.
you're trying to track someone.
It's hardly the head of the mafia talking to each other because the FBI are on the wire. It's ridiculous. Like, I go, oh, you keep saying that, what's your handle? And they come back with something else. I can't work out what's going on.
No, it's like anything, isn't it? That's what codes are all about, isn't it? You set them up and that.
Go on, and tell me the code then.
Reveal at long last to the world what
Yeah.
these codes are.
Right, so
Yeah.
what's your 20? Where are you?
This is better than the Enigma.
Yeah.
Right, now here we go.
Right.
How many candles are you burning?
Does that mean how big's your car or something like that? Horsepower or something?
See? No, that's
Oh,
how old
what
are you?
time is it?
No, how old are you?
What, how old are you? Okay.
Right.
Right.
How many candles are you burning, of course?
Yeah.
So what's the answer come back?
You go,
I'm 15.
14.
Brilliant. That code, there's no one gonna work that out. I wish you'd have kept a diary of this, because this has been fascinating.
Now and again, someone will come in and go, side on, right?
What's that mean?
And that means, like, there's someone sat there listening into this chat and going, this sounds interesting.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Unlikely.
Yeah.
And they want to join in, so they sort of go side on, you go, side on, bring it in, right? And they go, alright.
How many candles are you burning?
Yeah. What's your 20?
That's it goes round again.
Yeah.
See you later. What's your 20? How many candles are you burning?
Oh.
And, I mean, it seems to me that what you should have done is made a note the first time, so that when you then speak to them again, you don't need to ask them those questions. Can I just confirm that you're burning 15?
Athlete and Westside on XFM 104.9, sunny day, 2007.
It's going so well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Going so well, but
Ricky
then,
Gervais.
once again, the English language tripped you up.
The mouth with the tongue lips. Was all over the brain and talk. The brain and talk through the throat. Oh dear.
Oh, language is his tool. So, look, I think we should do some introductions, because I think it seems to me every week everyone knows who you are, because you're, the face of the moment, but they forget who, me and the K-Man are.
Well, with me, Steve Merchant.
Hi.
And the K-Man, who's our producer and friend. And can I just say that I really look forward to this show.
Oh.
Like, I get, oh great, we're gonna do a show and we're gonna play some tracks we like and have a laugh. But now it's like, I'm looking forward to meeting Carl.
Of course.
Honestly, I come in and I see his face and I go, alright. And I'm, just great, like just a little friend. Do you know what I mean? You know when a kid comes around to play with him and you go, oh, can I come out to play? And it's like the little friends. It's like that with Carl.
Yeah. Yeah, and if we don't see him in the week, you see, we deliberately stay away from him in the week so that he'll be fresh to us.
It was, go on.
You start off friendly, like you did today, and as soon as Steve turns up, you start getting nasty and saying things about my little bald head.
No, I said, look, okay, right, listen, let me explain. Carl was making the tea, and you know those bins, the sort of like a round sort of Metal Mickey type bin that you can take off the thing? I went, oh, that would make a good little helmet. It would make it look like Metal Mickey because it's the same shape as his head.
Sure.
Right? And I put it on and
So far, so good, Rick. No problem there. That's just two mates having a laugh.
Right.
You're putting a bin on another man's head.
Right, right. So I put it on, and the swing bit, through gravity and the angle, swung and hit him in the nose.
Sure.
Right? He went, ow! And I went, I said something like, it's alright.
Yeah, of course, because you were being amused.
Yeah, I said, it's alright, don't worry.
Yeah.
And he went, no, I've just washed my hair.
Yeah.
That annoyed me.
That did annoy you, sure.
Because there was lots of, like, shit and coffee and horrible, gunk.
In his hair, or?
No, in in the inside of the bin.
Sure.
But what annoyed me is, he's hardly got any hair.
Let's be honest, he looks
So-
like Moby.
Yeah, so I said, I took the bin off.
Yeah.
And I was having that, and I thought, you
ruined my
twat.
fun, is what
Do you
you
know what I
thought.
mean? I said, what's your hair? I said, we could do that now in 30 seconds. And he looked at me like I was in the wrong.
I know. Rick, that annoys me about
I
him.
know.
That doesn't annoy me
Yeah.
about him. But otherwise, he's like childlike.
Yeah,
in so
he's
many other
great.
ways. He doesn't understand that he's hurting your emotions and your feelings.
Yeah,
Rick.
but also, right, we were playing football, so come and play football, right, and so we were playing
Was that
football.
just in the office, or?
Yeah, just in the
Right,
office
yeah.
before you came, right, as well. And, we were sort of kicking it back and forth, and I started kicking it a bit hard. And, but he was quite good. I said, this is great, right? And, we finished anyway, because we thought we'd break something. And, I went, I bet you were quite good at football, weren't you? And I actually thought he looked like quite a natural, I thought he'd be good, he's from the north, and I thought that's all he'd have. You know what I mean? Right?
exactly.
And he went, I said, I suppose you're quite good at football. And he turned, the quickest flash, I went, I've scored once. Right? He said, and that's because I was being chased by a bee. And I
I went, save it.
Yeah.
He went, no, I said, please save it, because I want to tell Steve that. No, you can continue now.
Please tell us the rest of the story. You've scored a goal once
Well,
because you're being chased by a bee.
Yeah, you've done it now, really. I was on the,
There must be more to that story, K-Man.
I was in the school team. I wasn't that good as a kid at football, to be honest. Mainly down to, I think it's because of my dad. My dad wasn't into football.
Right.
I think that's the way it works, isn't it? If your dad's into it, then you could be a footballer when you're older.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because you're into it. And, so I was in the school team because I got on with the other lads. They let me in the team.
Popular guy, yeah. Sure.
And, yeah, I was stood there doing nothing because I didn't really know what to do. I never knew which way I was meant to be shooting.
Yeah.
Got all that messed up.
Yeah,
I just stood there, right, and with my hands behind my back, and something landed on me, on like this part of my thumb.
You can't just point, it's radio.
It's this bit here.
Right, yeah.
The fleshy bit, the fleshy bit of the thumb,
thumb.
yeah.
And I thought, oh, what's that? And I looked down, and
Is
it was
it
a
a
bee.
thumb? Oh, it's a bee, yeah.
It was a bee on me. So I start running, try to get away from it, and bees, actually something interesting about bees, more chance of getting stung by a bee in windy weather than any other sort of weather.
That's incredible.
Anyway, so I'm running away.
And he said there was no more.
Extraordinary. I've already learned many things. You're being chased by the bees.
So I'm running.
It's on your thumb, is it still on your thumb now?
It's sort of gripping onto me like a stag beetle.
Clever.
I love it. Oh,
Or a bee.
yeah.
So I'm running, and I'm running towards, like, the goal.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And the ball comes to me.
Yes.
Wallop, get it in.
Brilliant. What happened to the bee, though? Did it sting you?
They die, don't they?
I mean, ultimately it died, sure, but did that particular moment
I
did
mean,
it sting you?
this was probably about 20 years ago, so I imagine.
No. Once the bee stings you,
So did
that's
it sting
Yeah, but did it sting you?
Yeah.
Right, that was the question.
When did it sting you?
When I was playing football.
Carl, do you mind me asking, you say you're on the school football team. Was there just 11 boys at your school?
What is that you got in the squad?
Listen, Carl. All I mean is, at what point in this story did the bee sting you? Straight away?
After
or
half time.
Play a record, man.
Oh, he's the best! Depeche Mode, I Feel Loved, on XFM 104.9. It's about 17 minutes past 1 on this Saturday.
Go on.
We'll never interrupt me when it's going that well.
Sorry, I don't know what I was thinking there.
That was my record. That was about 4 or 5 sentences.
True.
They
I don't know
had
what I was thinking. I was
semantics,
bored of it.
syntax, there was capital letters, full stops,
Yeah.
grammar,
You didn't
everything.
even get the time out, did you?
Why?
What time was it? Quick, what time was it? I interrupted,
17
sorry, I
minutes
should have.
past.
I was so eager.
1. XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais. With me,
Steve
Smirch,
Merchant. Smirch.
and the K-Man.
The K-Man, we're all giving ourselves nicknames now.
Yeah.
Can I just clear something up? This is only a very, very personal thing. Lots of people who listen to the show that I've spoken to, friends of friends and stuff, they think that I'm the guy that plays Gareth in The Office, because my voice is obviously very similar.
It couldn't be further than the truth.
That's so not the case. If anyone's listening, they
Couldn't
think
be
it's
further
me.
than the truth. It
I
could be
don't
like
want
a
to take
table
credit
playing
for
it.
Mackenzie's performance. That's a guy called Mackenzie
Yeah.
Crook. He's a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
Everyone's seen his performance. It's not me. Admittedly, he has loosely based his accent for the character on my accent, because obviously it's a comical accent. We all admit that.
Yeah.
We'll agree with that. But that's it. That's where the similarity ends.
Yeah. Mackenzie's a good-looking fellow, isn't he?
He's a good-looking lad.
I mean, that's not
You're not
what
digging me. I know, because you're saying I'm a good-looking guy as well. You're just
You're-
saying we're two differently good-looking guys.
Yeah, Carl, it's all people are all different looks. I mean, you could say Brad Pitt's good looking, and then you could say George Clooney's good looking, and they're both great looking blokes, but they don't look alike.
Exactly.
So for me to say, Steve and Mackenzie aren't alike, Mackenzie's a good looking fella.
Exactly.
You know,
just mean
if you
that I
looked
just
at the
said I'm
Venn
a good-looking guy,
diagram
yeah.
there, they weren't mutually exclusive. There would be a crossover of good lookingness.
Yeah,
and
I'm in that pool with Brad Pitt and George Clooney.
Wow.
Well, it's quite a big pool, Rick, and I'm in there, certainly with them.
Yeah. Not.
I mean, I'm in one of those Venn diagram circles.
You are. Yeah. You're over this one. See what's in there?
I noticed that's a separate one, floating off from all the others.
Yeah. Lizards and parrots.
Ah, right.
Okay,
Right.
so
it's good to be included in something, though. It's good to be part of a gang, Carl. That's very important.
Yeah.
And if that's cleared up,
Depeche Mode there, and I Feel Loved. Who would have thought Depeche Mode would have been that huge? I think I was seeing little lads from Basildon with little plinky plonky sound. I thought that'd be like Visage or something. That'd be, you know, they're stadium rock fillers. They're huge. They conquered America. He went through some hard times. He came out the other way, and well done.
but see, I think what you just said there is a very good example of why they are and why certain other bands aren't. Because if you think about it, for me, you see, whenever I think of a band name, if I see a new band's come along or whatever, I always use a very simple test, which is, can you imagine that you're the announcer at a huge event? Maybe it's like broadcasting around the world, like Live Aid or
Nelson
something.
Mandela
Or it's
concert.
a Nelson Mandela Freedom concert.
Yeah.
And you can imagine someone
He's there. He's there.
Nelson's there.
Yeah,
Everyone's
with the
there.
Spice Girls.
Oh, they're all there. But you can imagine someone saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Depeche Mode."
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Rolling Stones, The Who!
Exactly. But you can't imagine someone saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Visage."
Ladies and
Really?
gentlemen, will you please welcome our headline act? Welcome Idlewild!
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Ned's Atomic Dustbin. It doesn't. Do you know what I mean? You just know.
The
that
Levelers!
some bands aren't going to make it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Mega City 4. Do you know what I mean? It's
So
just.
it's a simple test. We'd like you to do that at
If
home.
you're thinking of starting a band, or you've just named your band, you're
Yeah.
just beginning, just phone in, tell us, or email in, tell us what your
Yeah.
band name is,
And we will
will
do-
use that simple
And
test.
we will do the test. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome to the stage
The Franken Walters.
Jimmy Eat World?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Cooper Temple Claws. I don't think it's going to happen for those lads.
Here's a good
It's a
one.
simple test anyway, but
100
email.
reasons, please welcome to the stage. 100 reasons.
100 reasons I think would work quite well. We're just going to give the email address, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Nirvana, in their version of The Man Who Sold the World, the David Bowie tune.
Yeah. Good tune. Good
Taken
tune.
from that new Nirvana compilation.
I like that version, I like the David Bowie version.
You can't decide, can you, Rick? You're torn.
In fact, I like the Lulu version as well.
Is there a Lulu version?
Maybe we should play that one
Wow.
week. Yeah.
Was this recorded, what, in the 70s?
I think she recorded it about the same time
Right.
as David Bowie. I don't know if he released it as a single. I think it was just like, yeah. So off the album.
Interesting knowledge.
Carl is studying. Okay, what's the next one? What's the next educating
Well,
Ricky?
I don't know, see, like I say, I was looking around and there's stuff that is interesting. Right, I was looking on the web.
But there's no point.
Well, it's just that I found one about,
What's the point?
about a lad who, 8 years old,
Yeah.
but he's still breastfed. Now, I don't know if you can get anything out of that.
Is that what his mum said?
So,
What do you mean I don't know if I can get anything out of that? You don't need to.
No, it's just that, you know,
Where did you read that?
that was on the internet.
Oh, well, yeah.
You're always unspecific when you mention it. It's just it was on the internet.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what I put in. I think I put in Y to see if I'd confuse the computer. And then-
Go! You are...
No, I did
No, honestly.
I did a search, put in Y, and it came up with funny things that, like, why is this person doing that? Why is that? And it had a picture of this 8-year-old lad, sort of, you know, on his mum's nipple. And it was saying, you know, is this healthy?
You sure that wasn't asking you that question?
What? I put in Y to confuse the computer. Like the computer going, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Stop it!
Yeah.
Oh, look,
What,
yeah. Last week, I was walking, home with him, and I went, he was saying something stupid, and I went, I've got a competition for next week. Let's do a phone-in, and it's called Karl Pilkington, Genius or Fool.
Yeah.
Right? And he went, no. I went, why not? He went, well, they'd be confusing, because they say there's no difference between genius and being a fool.
We do that, don't we?
No,
Who says
that's,
that?
but it's rubbish, and people say there's a fine line between madness and genius, and, you know, it's a ridiculous soundbite. They don't say there's a fine line between a genius and an idiot.
Well, the people who do are idiots.
Yeah.
So what would you do there, though, just to sort of wrap that little thing up? What would you do? That lad loves his mum's milk.
What are you asking me to come up with?
No, I'm
A
just...
title for the story?
No, it's
What?
just what would you do? Right.
What do you mean, what would I do?
Well, it's causing a bit of a problem in the area, right?
What area?
in America, I think it was.
Oh, America are a problem, are they? George Bush is worried about this kid
Well,
who's
no,
breastfeeding at
right,
8.
Imagine it like this, right?
Right. No, so Carl, what are you asking me? About this spurious story you saw on the
I
internet?
saw on the internet, there's
Yeah.
an 8-year-old lad, he likes his mum's milk,
Yeah.
and it's saying, is this right? Should it
No,
be
it's
going
not.
on?
But what
What do you want Ricky to do about it? It's not his responsibility.
yeah.
No, but the little town that he lives in, they're all causing an uproar, right? Going, this isn't right, you know,
No.
I can't let my kid play out in case he's in the garden with his mum getting a bit hungry, right? So,
God.
what should they do? Because his mum's saying, well, he likes it,
Yeah.
and he, you know, so what do you do?
I don't know the laws.
No, but I'm not asking you to sort out the laws. I'm just saying, if you lived in that neighbourhood, what would you say? If you went up to him and said, look, everyone's getting a bit fed up with this, look.
I'd say, what would I do? What do you mean, what would I do? what are you asking me?
Right, it doesn't matter.
No, what are you asking me? What are you asking me and Steve and the
I'm
public?
just saying, say if you live next door to this woman.
Yeah.
Right? The kid's hungry, 8 years old, he's out playing on his bike and he goes, Mum, I'm getting a bit peckish, and he goes, alright son. She whops one out. And he starts having his milk, right? You live next door, you're putting your washing out, and you see this going on. You're getting a bit sick of it, because it's gone on for months.
8 years, I assume.
Why is it your business? Why are you such a nosy neighbour that you're concerned?
What would you do, Carl? Let's turn it back on him.
Yeah.
What would you do?
What's your solution?
What would you do?
Well, I thought I'd say, right, why are you doing this? And she'd say, because he likes it. And I go, alright then, put it in a bowl first.
And you think that would sort that out?
No, because I was thinking about the whole thing, right, and you do that when you're a baby, and everything's alright, innit?
Yeah.
No one bats an eyelid at a little baby having a bit of milk from its mum's breast, right?
Yeah.
You'd almost say it was natural.
But you grow out of it. It's like, you don't see, it got me thinking about things you don't see, and you don't see...
Did you put this into a computer? Show me things you don't see.
What else don't you see?
Well, you don't see, like, an old man having a Twix. You never...
Oh!
So what?
You know the terrible thing about all this, Steve, is he's right.
You don't see an old
No,
man
I
eating a
know,
Twix.
that's a terrible thing.
So what they have got, right, they've made old man toffees, haven't they? They've come up with Werther's.
Is that a song? Oh God! You don't see it.
No, listen now. So they've got their Werther's, right?
Yeah.
So,
look at him! You think
Forget
he's
it.
giving a lecture at Oxford?
it's not going anywhere.
No,
you
go
know?
on, sorry. Go on.
I'm just saying,
Right.
you grow out of things.
Yeah.
And the old man, I'm sure when he was a kid, he'd have a Twix.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't look right, so he's having...
It doesn't look right!
So...
Right.
I don't think Werther's originals were specially designed for old people. I think they were sweets that just happened to have been made for years. That's why old people eat them.
Yeah.
They didn't go, hang on, there's a market here. I've noticed old people aren't eating Twixes. Quick, let's make some old man sweets.
But the little advert, he gives it to his grandson as well, doesn't he? He goes, I have a Werther's original.
Oh, I think it cuts though before he throws it back in his face and goes, get me a Twix. And a damn curly-whirly, Grandad, you old fool.
Electric 6, Danger, High Voltage on XFM, 104.9. Sums up the show. Danger, High Voltage. Ricky Gervais with the Steve Merchant and the amazing Karl Pilkington. So, other things you don't see, Karl? Got any other ones, or you obviously been thinking about this? What confuses you? When you look out your window, what confuses you with the world? What do you walk around going, oh, that's a bit weird? I remember, when you were in, Edinburgh, you were confused because you saw someone putting a parking ticket on some rubbish, which confused you.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
The world's a crazy place, isn't it? I mean, whatever you look at, you can... Do you know what I mean?
Like what? Like what?
Well, anything. I mean, you could look out the window there and you'll see something, you go, why are they doing that?
Yeah.
What are they doing that for?
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, maybe we should bring back White Van Karl. There's some interesting questions this week, Rick.
Yeah.
We could pull that out of the bag if you're interested.
Shall we do that?
Just, get, Karl's take on, the world's...
Let's do it,
views.
let's do it.
I'll tell you what, we'll do that in a second. Let's have another Educating Ricky, because I think you got sidetracked with your talk of...
Well, just the other thing on things you don't see. Look at the way when I went to school, there was 2 kids with them big heads. Now,
You don't
never see them.
Sure.
Yeah, but no one else saw them anyway, Karl. It was only you that saw 2 of them, not related, and wouldn't hang around with each other because you think they thought it would be too obvious. Webbed fingers and big heads. That's amazing.
And there was a kid with a pigeon chest, so...
Oh yeah, and the lady with the head like a bag of spuds.
Let's not go through these
don't wanna
again.
go
It just
through
raises too many questions that can't be answered.
Yeah.
Right then, so, we've got, we'll have a big fire tomorrow.
Yeah, go on.
Is that the one you want?
Let's
Yeah.
go for it.
Right, I think this was like round the 1700s.
Bluffing.
And
Just bluffing.
Who was the king then?
Go on.
But it's about the word bonfire, right?
Bonfire.
Bonfire.
Yeah.
Do you know where it comes from?
No, go on.
No.
Right, what happened is it's got nothing to do with Guy Fawkes and that, which is what I thought when I saw it. It's got nothing to do with that. But ages ago, at 1700s, they didn't have enough houses, like I mentioned.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if that happens, you get people living on the streets. You get diseases, people aren't cleaning properly. So you get more deaths. All right.
Yeah.
So think about it. You've got all these dead bodies lying around. They're running out of space because there's like, I don't know why they're running out of space, but they haven't got much. I don't know why really. I was going to say they should have just buried them, but there's probably more land back then than now.
He doesn't need anyone else in the room to have a
conversation with himself.
Yeah, we could leave and we'd come back and you go, I've sorted it.
But anyway, for some reason,
They presumably, if it's going to be they burnt them, it's presumably to do that it also kills the parasite or whatever's carrying the parasite on them, as opposed to burying them and not killing the disease.
well, yeah. So that's that. There you go. You've worked it out. They piled them up and they turned it into a celebration because there was a lot of fed up people at that time.
Is this to be the word bon, meaning good?
No. I'll tell you in a minute.
Go on.
So you've got all these people who are like going around and like, oh, you know, so and so died the other day, and you know, nearly every week someone they knew was dying. Yeah. So you can imagine like just constant like being depressed. So and they've got all these bodies lying everywhere. It's like, oh god, what are we going to do? So they said, we're all too fed up at the moment. Said, let's make this a better world.
This was 1701 by the time they got together.
So they said, what we need to do is have a big party. So they said, yeah,
Good thinking.
see what you're thinking. So they go, right, well, we'll put all the bodies in a big pile. And they're all diseased and that, so they set fire to the bodies. And they said, let's have this as a celebration to remember them by. And you know, we'll have a drink and that, and have a chat. We'll have this big fire going, and it came from bone fire.
Ah, right.
So it was all the bones. Bonfire is bone fire.
Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
So that's how it came about.
Yeah, in the 1700s.
Yeah,
that was.
No, probably. I reckon it was 1600.
Probably earlier.
I reckon it was the plague. I reckon it came from.
But interesting stuff. Interesting.
Yeah, so that's.
Did you celebrate bonfire night? Is that a big celebration for you? Do you like the fireworks? I'm sick of fireworks. I just think they're rubbish.
Yeah, I'm not impressed.
I've never been impressed by fireworks. Even as a kid, you know, you have to go to like sort of community kind of gatherings with a bonfire and fireworks, and some local vicar or whatever would come out.
But I also think the adults think the kids love it, and if they just got together and said, should we go to see it, they'd all go no.
Absolutely.
Let's not go this year.
What would be better is if the vicar had wheeled out like a massive rocket, climbed in, gone last one to the moon is a bender, and then fired himself off. And that, I'd pay to see. That's a fireworks display I'd like to see. As it is, it's just rubbish.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Cole?
Yeah, I'm not keen.
No.
Sorry, what clue was that?
We'll have a big fire tomorrow.
Bone marrow. Bone marrow. Genius. Let's play the record.
Oh God!
What sound or noise do you hate?
As me or as a worm?
I don't know what you mean. What do you mean?
Why would we asking a worm?
I've never heard an actor say that to James Lipton. When he says, what noise do you hate? What, as me or a worm?
No, but all I'm saying is because of my last question, that's what I was saying. A bird noise is relaxing to me.
Right.
Well, it's not anymore because I think of all the deaths and stuff that go around that.
So now you hate the sound of birds?
I'm just saying it's changed my view on it. It's like anything, isn't it? Every noise can mean a disaster.
Can it? Why would the sound of laughter, people laughing, why would that also signify disaster?
If you wake up in the night by the sound of, like, a baby laughing.
Baby laughing!
No, if I had a baby, right, and Suzanne was out, she'd worked nights or something. And I'd nodded off, I'd put the baby to sleep. And then it's 3 in the morning and I'm woken up by the sound of a baby laughing, that would terrify me.
How is that? I just think the baby's sitting up in a chair like Chucky, going.
Well, no, I think the baby's reading his diary. Thinking, oh Christ, this is my father. I just hope I'm adopted.
Oh God, a baby laughing.
So I went and had it and stuff, but you had to Before you sort of said, right, I want this doctor, they give you loads of forms to fill out, right? And one of the things they did was, if you die, what do you want to give away, right? Like a donor. And what have you, and I thought, I really thought about it for 40 minutes or so. I didn't just rush into it. I was sat there thinking, you know, if I'm dead, does it matter and stuff? But I was really concerned when it said about the eyes.
Right.
Right. Why? What do you mean? What? Because can they have your eyes after you die?
It was, I think it was 4th on the list.
Why do you care about giving your eyes away when you're dead?
Just because of that thing of, you know, we don't know for sure yet. I know that you poo-poo it, but the afterlife thing.
So why in an afterlife would you want your eyes more than your liver and your kidneys and your lungs and your heart?
Because ghosts don't eat, do they? So you don't need all your liver and your kidneys and stuff, because they're only there to sort your food out. But your eyes, if you're a ghost, I don't want to be a blind ghost. Because you're around forever then, aren't you? Once you're a ghost, that's it. So the idea of being blind when you're alive, you go, well, all right, then maybe in the afterlife I might be treated to a pair of eyes. But the fact of wandering about, dead for years, bumping into stuff...
Oh God! Oh, it's amazing!
So-
oh, that's an amazing image.
So I didn't tick that box.
but why? I don't understand. In your theory of the afterlife, why is it that this ghostly Carl, why can he survive without a heart, but he can't survive without eyes? Why? Do you see what I mean? Surely, if you're this ghostly apparition, you can just see everything and you can do everything. You don't need the body.
No,
because you're a ghost.
Yeah, I know, but I think when you're a ghost, say like how they've seen ghosts in.
Right, could I just say now for any listeners, this is not the thoughts and beliefs of the management. There is no such thing as ghosts. I do not believe in ghosts. I do not believe in ESP or any mumbo jumbo. Carry on, Carl. So when there's a ghost, yeah.
When they see ghosts in like old castles and stuff,
yeah,
they've had their head cut off because they've been up to no good, right, years ago.
But they're carrying it around normally under their arm.
That's what I'm saying. It hasn't reattached itself. So if you take the eyes out...
But Carl, how is this ghostly creature able to function? It doesn't have its head on anyway. It's carrying it under its arm. So the suspicion is it doesn't need its head.
No, it does.
It just happens to be carrying it around because it wants to keep it with it.
The ghost is always in the last condition that it was in when it was in...
Who makes these rules?
The way you are in your last bit of life is how you are as a ghost forever. Even in the fashion. Like I say, the ghosts that you see never wear modern clothes, so it's always the Victorian stuff. Now, if they could change it, they would, but they can't because they're stuck with it, so that's
Why
what
did you see cavemen ghosts? When did ghosts start? They didn't kick in till about 1830, did they? What if you die when you're having a rectal examination? Are you always bent forward with your trousers around your ankles and someone's finger up your arse?
But why would you die when you're having that done? That's why I'm not having it done, if that's...
No, but you might have both been suddenly, killed in a terrible disaster.
Yeah, a meteorite hit you.
That's when you get the moaning ghosts, isn't it? They're the ones who aren't happy.
So you're going round, bent forward, you've got a doctor's finger up your arse, and what are you doing?
You start going, oh... And that's when you have to get the vicar round.
What do you mean?
they have to put you to rest and what have you, don't they?
And what does a vicar do when he's going? So I get the vicar round. It's years later. It's 100 years later. You're round this doctor's surgery, and there's people coming, and the doctor there, the new doctor there, and it's 2073, and they go, Vicar. They go, Vicar, there's a strange ghostly apparition. It looks like an old doctor, right? And he's got his fingers up this sort of like little... It's like a chimpanzee, but with a shaved head.
No, but the doctor wouldn't be... Are you saying the doctor dies as
yeah,
well?
You die at the same time with his finger up your ass. And so you're forever having a little rectal examination with your little trousers around your ankles.
Well, that's when it'd be best not to have your eyes. 13, you're a teenager then, aren't you? Life got tough.
Yeah, how did it get tough?
Just straight away when I was 13, my mum was like, you know, oh, it's your 13th birthday, you're a teenager now.
Right.
And she gave us a quid to go and get a cake to celebrate it. Went to the supermarket, got a cake, and I just thought, I don't like the look of this. Don't like the look of the way the future is here.
On his 13th birthday!
Well, you were buying a cake. What did you see at the supermarket?
It was kind of like, I don't know, I suddenly felt grown up. I didn't like it.
But I think you were always about 58, really, with your outlook.
Well, yeah, my mum always said I was old. She said I was an old baby. She said I could frown before I could walk. So they always had a bit of a worry look on my face. Didn't say much, just always listened. My eyes moved about more than I did. Just sat there looking around. looking stressed.
The eyes moved about more than I did. Oh dear, couldn't walk. Well, I can't walk, but I'll try and get a bit of movement in my face. It's a workout, a baby workout. Oh, babies, well, if you can't walk, what about your face? Let your face do the walking.
It sounds like that horror film. It sounds like Pilkington's Baby.
Yeah.
Just you lying there in your cot.
I didn't like all the stuff that's set up for you. Like, my mum tried to send me to, like, a nursery. I said, no, I'm not having this.
Just like that.
I said when I'm older and I've got to go, I'll go, but let's leave out this bit. And she said, all right. She was,
I love that he could reason with her. I love him. He's 3 years old with a pipe. She's going, you're going to the nursery. She goes, I think not, Mum.
I mean, kids don't play out, do they? Kids, you know, parents are scared to let the kids play out, and that's why the streets are dangerous now. Because no one's playing out on the streets. Whereas when I was a kid, everyone was out on the streets were safer. Because there was more people knocking about.
Right.
Let the kids play out.
It must be like a constant, like a Larry painting. His front garden, do you know what I mean? Just loads of people just
There was
walking
never any
around.
problems. I was sort of taken away by some fella.
What?
What?
No, I was playing about in the garden.
Yeah.
But my dad's mate, Tony,
Yeah.
he did tiling with him. He drove past. And he saw me looking a bit fed up, so he just leant over, picked me up, took me to the pub. Now, the thing is, there wasn't panic. People weren't going, oh, God, where's Carl gone?
He's out.
Just...
How old were you?
He's staying in the pub. He's 4 years old, yeah. Well, he's only having a...
He's down in the pub with Tony, probably playing darts.
Yeah, I was about 3 or 4.
Sorry, so some bloke drives by who happens to be a friend of your dad's, thinks that baby looks grumpy.
Yeah.
I'm taking him down to
But
the pub.
that's what it was
Tony,
like.
you bringing a baby to the pub? Yeah, I might do, yeah, we'll bring in ours. Alright, see you later, mate.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Whereas now they go, the baby's gone. There's a big full-on panic going
Yeah,
on.
but I think it says more about your parents that they didn't do that. They looked out in the back car and you were gone. Some bloke's driving off in a van. They're just going, oh, well,
We rode down the pub.
doesn't Princess Diana look lovely? This is absurd. So what happened when you got down the pub?
I just was there for a bit, and then
For a bit, just had a game of pool.
then my dad came in. It was like, oh, there you are.
Oh, there you are! I love that! Where's my baby? Go in the door, I'm just going to have a quick pint. Oh, there you are. All right, mate.
So, yeah, I think things were better back then.
I met up with my mate Laurie. He said he was in a pub at the weekend and saw a bloke whose hands were on the wrong arms.
No! What do you mean?
Well, he had his left hand on his right arm and the right hand on the left arm. I don't think this will be a problem if he's been like that from an early age. When I was in Ripley's in LA, I saw a bloke whose head was on back to front.
That's more annoying, innit, than your hands. Innit?
Now then, would you walk? How would you walk? Would you be walking backwards, Carl, so that you could walk? So you're basically walking forwards.
I reckon I'd walk sideways so nobody would sort of tell the difference. It just looked like...
Oh, God! He solved it again! He's thought it through. Oh.
Got home and read the magazine. There was a story about a baby that was born that looked like a frog. What magazine's this?
that made the news, that was in a proper newspaper in the end.
It didn't really have a neck or top half of its head. It would look alright if it always wore a scarf and a hat. The world would be a more interesting place if there were loads of different types of humans like there are creatures. Then some people would be good at certain jobs. Spider people, ant people, builders, cockroach people, dustbin men.
Good idea, isn't it?
Fortune Faded by Red Hot Chili Peppers on XFM 104.9 with Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington for the last time.
Yes, we've said that before, of course. So don't
Yeah.
get your hopes up.
yeah, we've had some highs, some lows, some laughs, some tears. Carl, you concentrating?
A lot
What
of
are you
tears,
doing?
mainly from the audiences.
Yeah. Now, before we get into that, before we get into talking about maybe some of the hijinks we've had, looking back, looking forward as well.
Yeah.
I came in, Carl was sitting at the desk, he went, alright? I went, alright, yeah. He went, see that Alan Clark diaries? I went, no, I didn't. He went, no, a lot of people talking about it. He went, I've never kept a diary. Keeping a diary will always get you into trouble. And I said, like Anne Frank. What did you say, Carl?
The woman in the cupboard?
That's what he said.
The woman in the cupboard.
And I went, save it. Save it.
You never speak to Carl off air. Save it all
I
for
know.
when we're on the wireless.
He went, but what did she do? What did she do except be in a cupboard? What did she have to write about? And I said, well, her thoughts. Do you know Anne Frank?
That's all I know about Anne is. There's no point pretending it.
Anne!
That I know stuff.
Yeah.
right?
Well, tell us everything you know about Anne Frank.
She was in a cupboard.
Yeah, what else?
If she didn't do that, I wouldn't know about her, seriously. That's all I know about her.
Yeah.
So what did she do?
But what do you how do you think we know about her cupboard because of her book, don't we?
But hang on, what, in the bigger scheme of things, why was she in a cupboard?
I don't know.
Right.
I honestly don't know.
You don't know anything else about Anne Frank beyond the fact that, to quote you, she was in a cupboard.
Well, what's she done then? You tell me, why should I know more about her?
Firstly, I don't think she was in a cupboard.
She wasn't in a cupboard. She was in an attic.
Alright.
Yeah.
So what was she doing?
She was hiding from the
Tidying
Nazis. She was hiding from the Nazis.
But isn't that the first place they'd look? Sort of... work from the top down.
Oh, they weren't specifically looking for Anne Frank.
They weren't going, where is she?
Where's Franker?
If she gets that book out, we are in a deep shit. We've got to stop the book. They were just looking generally. She was, I think she was 13, 14, she was
Yes.
hiding, she was Jewish and she was hiding, lived in Amsterdam, didn't she?
Yeah, as much of her family were having to hide, being
Yeah.
helped by, you know, friends, non-Jewish.
In a cupboard. Cupboards, you know.
And how long did she sort of hide up there for?
Until she was caught.
Long enough to write a book.
So she even got caught after all that?
What do you mean, so she even got caught? We're talking about one of the great, you know, humanist tragedies of our times, and you're going, she couldn't even stay hidden.
What do you mean, did she get caught?
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, it's not a great tip then, is it? Do you know what I mean? She didn't do it well. She didn't hide until they escaped it. She
Her
got
diaries
caught.
are not a manual on how to hide from people. It's not how to win at
I don't know
hide
anything about her, and we might be going down some ground that's a bit dodgy. I don't know enough about it. Maybe it's best just leaving it. All I was saying is diaries. You know, what do you do them for? Have you kept one, Steve?
Never kept a diary, no.
Right.
I can understand your fear that it might get discovered, someone might read it, find out all about your inner secrets. Of course, the good thing about you is you tell everyone what you think about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, no one's gonna find a diary and go, oh god.
I can't believe it, Carl doesn't like my haircut.
Yeah. Carl thinks I look like Dave Hill from Slade. Yeah, I told you that, didn't I? Yeah, I told you that.
Do you think they'll last, though, diaries and that? No, because they were a bit of a time killer, weren't they? It was something to do at the end of the day, whereas now there's iPods and that. You know what I mean?
It's fantastic!
what I mean?
The iPod of Anne Frank.
Yeah.
but that's what I mean.
New from Sony, that'd be great, wouldn't it? All her greatest hits. Who could forget? Oh,
Well,
dear.
leave that then. I didn't know
Really
it was
that-
that deep. I thought it was just like a, you know,
You thought it was like, didn't you?
Adrian Mole type thing. Yeah, what are we doing?
Thorns, from my favourite album of last year, that. And, I can't remember. We'll be doing a bit of that, playing some of our favourite songs. We've, got a couple of requests.
Oh,
in fact, yeah, one of them a celebrity request, Matt Lucas from, Little Britain is listening in.
Oh, yeah.
So it's your last show? I said, yeah. And I said, do you want me to play a record? And he said, what's your favourite group? Guess Matt Lucas's favourite group. Now remember, him and David are the new darlings of comedy.
Yeah.
They're cool, they're trendy, everyone loves Little Britain. They're comedy geniuses, they're only gonna get bigger. What's his favourite group of all time?
That is tricky. Level 42.
No. Carl, have a guess.
Well, there's going to be something weird in it if you're saying this.
Well,
So, how old's the band?
they're probably about as old as him.
How old's he?
No. Oh, Carl, have a guess.
ABBA.
No, it's, why'd you say ABBA?
They're good, aren't they?
No, it's The Proclaimers.
The Proclaimers?
Yeah!
Really?
Yeah. And I know he's listening, but, you know.
There's nothing wrong with the Proclaimers, I just can't imagine anyone getting that excited about them.
I bet that's why he likes you. Because you hang out with him, don't you?
I do hang out with him.
He thinks he's,
yeah.
it's like the closest thing he
Yeah.
can, he knows one of the Proclaimers.
Wait till he meets my twin brother.
Yeah, yeah, he's gonna have a field day,
He won't
isn't he?
believe it.
Yeah. So I was on this, and I said, I can't play the Proclaimers, but we're playing another.
Where did they go? Because I don't really remember the Proclaimers particularly from when I was young.
Well, let me give you a little blast. I give a little wee, but in two-part harmony.
Of course.
That was the
They
main
were
thing.
very popular for a while, weren't they?
I think they had, sort of 3 big hits in
Yeah.
sort of about 1980. When was it?
Yeah. Oh, I forget.
80s.
Scottish. They did sing in Scottish accents, which I thought was quite refreshing. They didn't do the fake American thing.
No, that was good. Yeah.
But again, I just can't imagine sort of being in that. When would I be in the mood to put on a Proclaimers record?
Well, you've run out of Crankies stuff, I
I
suppose.
guess so, yeah.
If you've played all your Crankies records, there's,
and the
you know,
Muppets album.
yeah, pop on the Proclaimers. Now, we were talking before the break about, Anne Frank in her cupboard.
Yes.
Now,
I'm still a little bit concerned that Carl's not quite got his head around Anne Frank's diary.
Yeah.
It's not like a children's book. It's not like The Lion, Anne Frank and the Wardrobe.
no.
She doesn't go into a fantasy land when she goes into the attic.
I'm just glad that old Mother Hubbard didn't help the Nazis.
Sure.
Because that's the first place she'd look.
Yeah.
Isn't it? The Nazis go, we've got on with her, but she thinks she knows where she is.
Yeah.
She'd have gone straight there.
I think with Hubbard, it's like, if I just briefly, you mentioned Hubbard. Now Hubbard goes to the cupboard to get, I can't remember exactly.
Her poor dog a bone.
She goes to get the dog
a bone. But when she got there,
the cupboard was
bare. And so the poor dog had none.
Is there more to that than because that's all I remember. Is there further verses? Does she finally get a bone? Does she go on in the adventure?
Oh, what, you mean the second verse is, then she looked in the fridge and realised that's where she kept the bones, and so the dog was laughing.
Exactly.
No, there isn't another verse.
That's all of it.
I think so. I went to the cupboard to get a bottle of bone. When she got there, the cupboard was bare, and so the poor dog had none. No, I think that's the end of it. I think it's a moral. I think it's a moral that,
What's the moral?
Well, if you got a dog, keep some bones in the cupboard.
Right. Because I always, even as a kid, I remember thinking that it's quite a tragic sort of picture they paint. I imagine maybe she's lost her...
It's short, isn't it?
It's short.
It's over, isn't it? That's amazing.
But I always wondered whether perhaps she's had a nervous breakdown. Maybe her husband's died recently. She's just not got any food.
She doesn't know. She
doesn't really know what's going on. The dog's, yapping away. Eventually, she kind of wakes out of this kind of depressed stupor. She goes to the cupboard. There's nothing there. It's just a really depressing, morbid sort of tale. I don't know if maybe it's originated from something in history. I know that Jack and Jill went up the hill and they fell down again.
That's a story about illicit lovers.
That's apparently based on that. And obviously, Ring a Ring of Roses. It dates
Plague?
back to plague times, so I don't know about Hubbard. Humpty Dumpty, not so sure about this. Well, this is something I remember as a kid thinking, at what point was it decided that Humpty Dumpty was a giant Eggman?
I don't know,
because there's nothing in the actual rhyme. There's no actually, it's not Humpty Dumpty,
it's not,
the Eggman's at all.
I don't know. My concern is more, his parents were a little bit cruel, because if you are the Dumpties, I'll say sorry, don't call your firstborn Humpty.
Yeah.
Because straight away, it's going to be embarrassing for him at school, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm just saying, I'm trying to go all the things together. Is that it as well?
That's all of it.
Oh,
and also, I don't mean to be pedantic, because I know it's a children's
Is it like an Edward Lear thing, or that's before that, isn't it?
But I don't mean to be pedantic again, but if you've got a giant Eggman and he's fallen into bits, all the King's men, fine, they're there, they can piece that together again. Don't send horses in.
No, because
that's just a whole eggy, horsey mess.
No, they're gonna make it worse.
They're just gonna be standing on it.
They are gonna make it worse.
It's not
They're standing on it, get the horse out of the way. No, he's definitely not.
But again, maybe I'm sure some of the, the mental people...
Is it pre-Lewis Carroll, or... If it's Lewis Carroll, it just came with the illustration.
I guess so.
He gave it to someone to illustrate, illustrate Humpty Dumpty, he goes, we've made him an egg.
Yeah, a sort of egg with eyes and a face.
Yeah!
I suppose, because the moral of that is, if you're fragile, if you're an enormous egg,
Mr. Dumpty, get down from the wall, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because, I'll tell you what, there'll be no
medical... ways to happen.
Yeah.